back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Neidje, and I am super excited that you decided to click on my video. Take some time to subscribe to the channel if you are feeling your girl, and then also comment down below how your day is going because I would love to know how you were doing. I am going to be reviewing the Makeup by Mario Surrealskin Foundation 1 fluid ounce, and this is the final look. Super quick makeup look. It took me about 20 minutes to get this done, but I would love for you to hear my thoughts. And I also want you to take the time to comment down your thoughts about this foundation if you've ever tried it before. But before I jump in, I wanted to take some time to also give you shade comparisons. If you happen to be my shade and you want to know what I wear in other foundations, I wanted to at least do that before I even jump into this video. So in Fenty Pro Filter, I wear shade 400. In the Pat McGrath Labs, I wear a medium deep 26. Girl, I'm hoping this helps you. In the L'Essential Natural Glow, this is the Girl On foundation. Oh, honey, I love this foundation. I wear a shade 055W. In the Dior Backstage foundation, again, I'm literally almost out of this foundation. I wear this all the time. I wear a 5W. I got 2 more to help you out, so hopefully this helps you. In the Fenty Eavesdrops, this is a lighter coverage foundation. I wear number 18. And then in the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, this is a travel size version. I wear a 6W1 Ganache. So hopefully this helps you out if you are looking for a shade, sister. And in the Makeup by Mario, the foundation I'm reviewing today, I wear 230. Stay tuned. Glad you decided to stick around, and let me jump right in. Before we get started, I need to add some moisture to my lips. All right, I'm actually using the Glossier BirthdayBalm.com Universal Skin Salve. I feel like a couple years back, Glossier was the it girl. Like, everybody was using Glossier. Everybody wanted that model off duty look. I don't know if that's still a thing or if they're still as popular, but this is actually pretty good. So if you're interested, it's on their website, Glossier BirthdayBalm.com Skin Salve. I like it. Only thing is, if you don't like anything with shimmer in it, don't get this one because this has shimmer. Before I start talking about reviewing the Makeup by Mario Surreal Foundation 1 fluid ounce, pretty standard packaging, minimalistic, modern, you know, I love that. I did want to talk about him as an artist. I really think that he is probably my top 3 like makeup artists. I had the opportunity to watch his masterclass and I'm like, wow, that level of artistry is really unmatched in my opinion. I think he is phenomenal. I'm really impressed by his artistry, and it takes a lot of skill, a lot of dedication to really not only camouflage someone's flaws on their skin or things that they want to camouflage, but also be able to give them this goddess-like glow from within. He does that phenomenally. So that's my take on him. I'm a little biased since I'm already, you know, a fan of his, but I will do my very best to give you an honest review. So let's jump into it. I already have my skincare done. Primer's already on. I use my tried and true Milk Hydro Grip makeup primer. Whenever I'm trying out a new foundation, I don't switch it up because I need to know if my skin is into this foundation or not. So I keep it, you know, my skincare and my makeup primer, I keep them all consistent just for the sake of that. But let's jump in. I'm going to use a brush, and then I'm gonna go over it with a beauty blender. So I'll apply it with a brush like I normally do, and then kind of even everything out with a beauty blender to give it a really nice finish. Yeah, here's the bottle. Pretty nice bottle. Glass, 1 fluid ounce. And my color is 230 or 230, but I think it's a letter, not a number. So let's jump into it. I'm not using very much. I will say though, this does have like a paint type of scent. And by that, I mean, if you ever used MAC Studio Skin Finish, you know how that has like a paint type of scent, you know what I mean? Like that makeup scent. This definitely has that. Actually, this is so pretty. Wow. This completely covered the dark marks. So I wouldn't say this is a light coverage. I would say this leans medium, and you can probably build it up to full if it's not. Yeah, you could definitely build this up to full. So I do have a little bit of pigmentation here on this side. Let me see if it covers this up a little bit. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I actually like this a lot. It's really pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, so far so good. Very, very pretty. Very pretty on the skin. It seems to work pretty well with the primer that I used. Seems to be doing well. All right, so let me jump in. I'm actually going to, let me just do my eyebrows really quickly. For my eyebrows, I am using the MAC, and I feel like people don't talk about this brow pencil at all. The MAC Eyebrow Styler, super narrow, like, oh, there's a little brow hair there, but ignore that. Tip is pretty fine, and I use the color Spiked. I think it's such a underrated brow pencil. I never hear people talk about it, and I'm like, this is a really good brow pencil. So check it out. If you are in need of a brow pencil, you get it at MAC, you can get it at, I bought this one at Ulta. I will say, it's a pretty foundation. Very, very pretty. So next thing I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go in with my Pat McGrath. I have two shades here. I have MD23 and I have M20. M20 is lighter, 23 is a little bit darker, but they both work just fine. I'm gonna go in with 20. I wanted a little bit of a brighter under eye. So going with 20 here. Down the bridge of my nose. I'm just looking in the camera, in the mirror that's in front of me. Side of my nose, put some here. Do my little forehead here. What I do also is I don't dip back into it, but whatever's left over on the back of the, on the spoolie or the brush, I just put it on the back of my hand, and then I take a shader brush. This is a lid brush. It's just super flat, and I'm gonna use this to the leftovers to clean up my eyebrows. So I'm just looking in the mirror over here to do that. But yeah, I went to Sephora. I couldn't find, I wasn't sure what shade I should get in this foundation. I ended up getting one shade darker, which I believe is 24N, and it's doable, but I took it back because I think 20, the color that I have now, 23, works a lot better. It was a little bit, it was too dark, a little bit too dark, but still manageable. If, you know, using a brighter concealer would have just color corrected it. It's not a big deal. The undertone was a little bit too red for me, for my liking. So I did take that back. And when I was in Sephora, I just had, like, you know, one of the associates like take a second look to see which one she thought looked better. So that's what I did, and I stuck with this one. I think this one looks really good. But yeah, so far so good. I will say though, my skin type is normal combination. I have I'm pretty normal down here, like my chin area, but my forehead, my nose, and just around my nose gets a little bit oily. If you are oily, you may not like this as much, just because it's not a dewy finish. I wouldn't say that, but it is very, it's not matte. It's satin, natural satin, glowy. I've tried foundations that are a little bit glowier than this, but there is definitely some glow into here in this. And then I will say, when I put it on the back of my hand, there's also shimmer in this. That could also be what's causing that extra glow that you're getting, that you may be seeing. I'm not sure if the camera's even picking it up, but there is shimmer. Yeah, the camera's not picking that up. I feel like I've seen other foundations that's not a new thing, adding a little bit of shimmer to a formula. But also, like, was it necessary? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I want to have glitter particles or shimmery particles in my foundation, but this one, it looks beautiful. So keep that in mind if you're not into that. If you don't like the fact that there are particles in it or like shimmer, you may not like this. But yeah, camera, it's definitely not going to pick it up. But I did want to mention that. Throw this back in here. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm using my Givenchy pressed powder to set my face. Well, actually, before I do that, you know what a trick that I just started doing? I bought this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish powder. It's just a setting powder. And I literally just get a brush, like a fluffy brush, tap it in here, tap it out, and then I just like lightly set it with this because it has this brightening effect. And then I'm going to go in with my setting powder and I'll set my whole face. I just use my beauty blender to set my face, or set my under eye. Faces you make when you do your makeup and you don't even realize it until you're recording. Like, girl, fix your face. All right, so next I want to go in and set my entire face. So I am going to use the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. It looks like, oh girl, oh sorry, it is. Let me use my makeup wipe, get this off. And also, this is really annoying seeing all these little fuzzies, but just ignore them. It is what it is. We're gonna use this. I like it a lot. I use it quite often. I use this as a bronzer. This isn't a bronzer, but it's the Glowish by Huda Beauty. And I use number 12 Rich Luminous Pressed Powder. It's a pressed powder, but I use this as a bronzer. I think it's gorgeous. And I've already hit pan. I'm going in with the NARS blush, Exhibit A. This is like old school NARS lover. Obviously, it's still in stores now, but I remember when this first came out and I'm like, I used to be so obsessed with NARS. Like when I was first getting into makeup, NARS was like the creme de la creme, besides MAC. Everybody started off with MAC, but once I graduated from MAC and I was really into makeup, NARS was like the next best thing. They were so regal and so, what word am I looking for? They were just so like modern and regal and, you know, cool. Like they were the cool kids, in my opinion. Comment down below if you had an obsession with NARS, or actually if it wasn't NARS, comment down below like what makeup brand were you like, I need everything. NARS was that for me. I throw a little bit on my nose just to bring it in. Sometimes I'll put on a little bit of blush on the sides of my temples. And what am I gonna do next? Okay, we're gonna do my highlighter next, like a gold highlight. Bring the other one up to speed. Put a little bit on the tip of my nose, down here, Cupid's bow, boom. Oh, actually I want to put some on my face. I'll just use my finger. Some on my face. You know what highlighter I really love, I'm going to use actually today as well, is the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Wand. This one here. Oh, honey. So pretty. And the color, my favorite one is Peachgasm. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Tell me that's not a pretty color. Let me see if I can make this darker. And the glow. The glow. Honey. Sis, it's different level type of glow. Different level. Last thing I want to do is pop on some color underneath my eyes. Just, you know, give me a little bit of smokiness right underneath my eyes. I'm actually using Patrick Starr's Visionary palette, One Size, this palette here. But yeah, that's the full look. I will say on camera, it's gorgeous. Like, I feel like it looks flawless on camera. First impression, so I have this one, I think it's flawless. It's beautiful on camera. I will say though, and this is my honest review, in person, it's not as flawless. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's pretty. Oh, and this is the Becca collaboration with Chrissy Teigen. I mean, this is, I don't know if this was a limited edition or not, but I use these colors, the shades in here, like a maniac. I love them. Yeah, I don't think you can find them anymore. Yeah, that's what I will say. I think that in person, on camera, it's gorgeous. In person, you can still see, you can also already see like my smile lines coming through here. Yeah, I don't think it's as flawless in person. Not to say it's not pretty. It's very pretty. Like, it's lovely. But yeah, I'm not crazy about it. I like it. I think it's cool. I'm not dying like, girl, you need to pick this up like yesterday. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not. I hate to say it because this foundation has had some really positive reviews. And not to say this is a negative review at all. It's not. I just think that on camera, I will say it is gorgeous. It's super flawless on camera, but in person, it seems to have missed the mark for me. And I've only been sitting here for 20 minutes doing my makeup, and I already have, my smile lines are seeping through. I have foundations where, and again, in person, remember I'm looking in a mirror right here. It's already breaking up near my smile lines. I already have like creasing in my smile lines, and I have foundations where that doesn't happen until maybe the 4 or 5 hour mark. It's already happening now. So I will say that. I think, again, beautiful, flawless on camera, but in person, it's a little bit lackluster for me. Do that with what you will. One thing I wanted to do last is actually put on one of my little Fenty Beauty little lip stains. When I tell you I'm obsessed, I bought 3 of them. I am obsessed with these. They're so good. So, so good. But I think I am going to put on, I like this red one. I'm going to wear, I think they're called Poutsicle, if I'm not mistaken. This shade is shade number 3, and it's Strawberry Sangria. Strawberry Sangria. Oh, so pretty. I wear these literally all the time. Whether I have on makeup or not, trust and believe I'm going to have one of these Poutsicle. What do you call it? Poutsicles on. Gorgeous. This is not a Fenty beauty review, but if you haven't tried it, you need to try it. Go to Sephora and get that Poutsicle. Back to the foundation. Like I said, on camera, it's gorgeous. In person, it's a little bit lackluster. I don't know if it's just, I'm not really sure. I can see my pores coming through, and you don't see that on camera. And again, I don't have on a beauty filter. I don't have on any filters on here. It's just, I think just the formulation of this foundation looks beautiful on camera. Which, I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense. He's a celebrity makeup artist. I think this will photograph beautifully. In person, though, it doesn't do what it needs to be doing. It's not giving what it needs to give. It really isn't. And I won't lie to you, I gotta be honest. It ain't giving in person, but, oh, excuse the lint. It's not giving in person, but I will say it's beautiful on camera. Do with that what you will. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like I said, makeup by Mario. Mario is literally one of my favorite makeup artists. He does a fantastic job and is truly a master at his craft. So I'm actually happy that he has a line and am looking forward to trying more products from him. Is this a complete pass? It's $42. If you have the extra coin that you want to spend on it, I wouldn't say, I'd say go ahead, try it out and see if you like it yourself. I will say though, for sure, if you want to be camera ready, photo ready, beautiful on camera, it does lack in person, which is really disappointing because I'm looking in a mirror here and I'm just like, what I see here on this camera, it ain't giving me what I see here. I promise you it's not. So maybe I'll pop in some photos of like in natural light and see, you know, what it's doing. But it's not a bad foundation by any means. I wouldn't say that. But I will say that don't let these beautiful like finished faces on camera fool you, because ultimately like it's great to be cute on camera, but I need to look my very best in person. And I feel like my Pat McGrath skin whatever foundation does the trick. I feel like my Dior backstage foundation will do it. The Fenty Beauty will do it. It will do more for me than what this is giving. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. So if you tried it and you want to comment down below. Let me know what you think. I hope this review was helpful. And yeah, stay tuned, stay around, and we will talk soon. Have a great day. Bye.